Thanks for tuning in to your daily dose of quick real estate updates, local housing trends, and market data, plus tips, tools, and strategies to help you buy, rent, or invest with confidence. You're now getting ready with RealiCare Reports, powered by the innovation team, Cami and Rex. Now go grab your favorite morning breakfast, coffee or tea, and let's enjoy today's episode.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at, well, a pretty major move down in Florida.
Yeah, the Melbourne Airport Authority, MAA, just made a big land purchase for the Melbourne-Orlando International Airport, MLB.
Exactly. And it's not just any purchase. We're talking about a $28 million deal.
Right. And our goal here, for you listening, is to really unpack what that means. It's over 176 acres we're talking about.
Huge. So what does that actually signal for the region's economy long term? That's what we want to get into.
It's about the future, potentially decades down the line, multi-generational even.
Okay, so let's pin down the facts first.
Yeah.
The deal itself, the MAA, approved the purchase agreement when? Mid-July 2025.
Yeah, July 16th they ratified it. The agreement was dated just a few days before, July 11th. Pretty quick turnaround.
And the land itself is what, 176, almost 177 acres at the northwest corner of the airport?
That's it, 176.36 acres, to be precise. And you have to understand, this is one of the biggest single land buys in MLB's history.
Wow, so not just routine expansion.
No, definitely not. This is strategic. Decades of potential growth wrapped up in this one purchase.
Right. I mean, 176 acres, that's a lot of land for an airport that's already pretty well established.
It is.
So the big question is why? Why this specific plot and why spend $28 million on it right now?
Well, the why really goes back to their long-term planning. This wasn't some sudden idea.
Ah, okay. So it was in the works.
Yeah, it lines up perfectly with strategic goals they'd already laid out in their master plan.
The original master plan. So this is like ticking off a major box on a long-term checklist.
Exactly. A critical step they knew they'd eventually need to take to realize that bigger vision for the airport.
And you mentioned multi-generational. Greg Donovan, the executive director, used that exact phrase.
He did. Multi-generational impact.
That's a strong statement. It suggests they're not just building hangars, they're aiming for something much bigger. What is it?
The core driver, really, is access, logistics.
Yeah.
See, this specific piece of land solves a major problem they had, a capacity constraint. What kind of constraint?
Donovan basically said it lets them go after significant business opportunities they previously couldn't handle. Why? Because they lack the right kind of space.
The right kind of space.
Yeah.
So not just any space. What's special about this parcel, for those of us not in airport design, I mean?
Okay, yeah. It boils down to one key phrase. Airside accessibility contiguous to our 3 runways.
Airside accessibility. Contiguous. Okay, break that down.
Think about it like this. You've got land near the airport, maybe roadside. That's useful.
Sure.
But airside means it connects directly to where the planes operate. The runways, the taxiways, no public roads in between.
Ah, I see. Direct tarmac access.
Precisely. And contiguous to all 3 runways. That's the gold standard. That kind of real estate is incredibly valuable and, frankly, pretty rare.
So if I'm running, say, a big aircraft maintenance company.
An MRO, yeah. Maintenance, repair, overhaul.
Right. Why is that direct access so crucial? What's the practical difference? It means you can literally tow a massive jet straight from the runway or taxiway into your hangar. No crossing public roads, minimal hassle, maximum efficiency and security.
Okay, that makes sense. Cutting out huge logistical steps.
Huge steps. Same for specialized air cargo handlers. They need to load and unload heavy or sensitive stuff right there next to the plane, next to the runway.
So this wasn't just buying land near the airport. They bought the ultimate VIP access pass, basically.
That's a good way to put it. They bought direct, unimpeded access adjacent to all their runways, something they couldn't just create out of thin air.
That really is the aha moment then. It wasn't about general growth. It was about acquiring a very specific, very valuable logistical capability.
Exactly right. They bought operational freedom, freedom to attract businesses that need that specific kind of access, positioning them to compete for, major aerospace and aviation tenants.
Which leads us straight to the economic side of things. It's not just about efficient operations, it's about jobs, right?
Yeah.
Tax revenue.
Absolutely. This land opens the door for some serious economic development in the Melbourne area.
So what are the immediate plans? What kind of development are they aiming for with this new premium land?
Well, the MAA outlined 3 main goals. First, just securing the space itself for future aeronautical development, thinking long term.
Okay, locking it down.
Second, helping their existing tenants expand. Businesses already based at MLB who might need more room to grow.
Supporting the current players. Makes sense.
And third, and this is key, actively recruiting new businesses. High-quality companies that fit that need for airside access.
And let's give some context here. MLB isn't some small regional field they're trying to build up. It's already a powerhouse, isn't it?
Oh, massively. You really need to understand the scale. Right now, MLB contributes about $3.1 billion a year to the local economy.
3.1 billion.
Billion, yeah. And supports around 20,000 people working on the airport campus every single day.
Wow. Okay, so this $28 million investment isn't about starting from scratch. It's about turbocharging an already massive engine.
Exactly. They're building on a very strong foundation. This land is meant to amplify that $3.1 billion impact significantly in the coming years and decades, securing that future.
And given that baseline, they must be targeting some pretty specific high-value tenants, right? Not just any business.
For sure. You don't spend this kind of money and leverage this kind of asset for, warehousing generic goods. They're after high-wage, specialized jobs.
What's the leadership saying about that? Bill Potter, the MAA chairman.
His comments really underscore that. He talked about focusing on long-term sustainable development.
Sustainable development.
Yeah, using this land to attract and keep those high-quality companies, continuing what he called the airport's legacy of boosting regional prosperity.
It really sounds like they view the airport almost as an economic development agency first that happens to run runways.
In many ways, yes. It's a strategic asset they're actively managing for maximum community benefit, a very calculated move.
Okay, but a $28 million calculation is still, well, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
How did they swing that financially?
Good question. It's a major investment. The sources confirm the price tag, $28 million.
And the funding, where did that come from?
It's a mix. A significant chunk came from the airport's own cash reserves.
Using their savings. That shows confidence.
It absolutely does. It signals they see this land, the specific airside access, as a must-have investment worth dipping into reserves for.
Was it all cash reserves?
No, they also secured a crucial grant from the Florida Department of Transportation, FDOT.
Ah, so state support too.
Exactly, which helps validate the project's importance and reduces the airport's upfront financial burden. It's a smart mix of internal funds and external grant money. Less debt, maximum strategic gain.
Okay, so the finances make sense strategically, but what about the neighbors? You can't just drop a major industrial expansion next door without considering the community.
A really critical point, and the MAA seems very aware of this. They've made specific commitments.
Such as?
Well, they've explicitly said they are committed to the surrounding neighborhoods, and crucially, there's an existing buffer zone.
A buffer zone. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's about 67 acres, 66.95 to be exact, of airport-owned land that was set aside specifically as a mitigation area, a buffer between the airport operations and the nearby residential areas.
Okay, and what happens to that buffer with this new purchase?
This is the key assurance, that existing 67-acre mitigation area will remain untouched.
So they're adding 176 acres of development land without shrinking the existing buffer.
Correct. The expansion is additive. It doesn't compromise those existing protections for noise and safety.
That's a pretty important detail for residents, I imagine.
Absolutely. And they also reinforce that the airport continues to operate, aiming for no negative noise impacts on nearby areas. Responsible operations alongside expansion.
Good. So the MAA board ratified the deal. What's the final step? Is it a done deal now?
Almost. The final procedural checkpoint, according to the sources, is approval from the Melbourne City Council.
Ah, the city council get the final say.
Yes. The MAA has done its part. Now it goes to the city for that ultimate green light before everything becomes binding and the real planning can kick into high gear.
Okay, so let's try and synthesize this for you, the listener. We've covered a lot of ground acres, dollars, strategy. What's the core takeaway?
I think one source put it quite plainly. This is about jobs with major land buy. It's not just about land, it's about economic opportunity.
Right. It's a $28 million investment in future jobs and regional competitiveness, specifically targeting businesses that need that premium airside access.
Exactly. The Airport Authority is acting as stewards of one of the community's most valuable assets, as they put it.
Stewards looking decades ahead.
Definitely. They're locking down the potential for growth now, securing the airport's role as an economic engine for potentially generations. It's proactive governance.
It really is impressive long-term thinking. Which brings us to a final thought for you to chew on.
Okay.
We know the absolute driving force here was getting that airside accessibility contiguous to our 3 runways. That was the non-negotiable.
The strategic prize.
So knowing that specific capability was the goal, what kinds of really high-value, maybe even cutting-edge aeronautical businesses do you think this expansion is designed to attract, beyond just the standard MROs we mentioned?
That's the interesting question, isn't it? You start thinking about advanced aerospace manufacturing, maybe, companies building complex components or even entire aircraft sections.
Could be. What else needs that direct runway access?
Specialized defense contractors, perhaps? Or think about the burgeoning space industry companies involved in satellite deployment or suborbital transport. They often need secure, direct access to long runways and large staging areas.
So things that need that unique combination of space, security, and immediate runway access.
Exactly. What industries absolutely must be right there, fence to fence with a major runway system? Answering that probably tells you who the MAA is hoping to court next.
A multi-generational question indeed. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Well, that wraps up today's episode of RealiCare Reports, where real estate meets real life. For more updates, tools, and insights that will help you buy, rent, or invest with confidence, be sure to follow, subscribe, stay connected, stay informed, and stay ready. Until next time.